California Reparations panel approves payments of up to $1.2 million for black residents. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I now identify as an African-American Californian. Where is my money? And on that note, learning about economics and personal finance can be tricky. Theory can be tedious and impractical, and practical advice is often distributed by gurus with no apparent regard to your actual situation. Mr. Tony, the protagonist of Where Is My Money, is doing both and neither. He explains complicated stuff about economics using simple language, sardonic humour, witty character-based storytelling, and engaging animation to make this sort of content truly come alive. He shows how economic theory and history are tied to practice of personal finance, challenges common fallacies, and brings original insight. In the times when social media constantly feeds you only what you agree with, Mr. Tony provides a personal voice that can make you think, question, and learn. Now, he's not your personal financial advisor, but he is an eye-opening breath of fresh air into the complexities of the financial world. He's not asking you for any money, just to give him a go. Links are in the description and the pinned comment.
Governor Gavin Newsom is now responding to recent recommendations by California's Reparations Task Force. The task force recently submitted recommendations to lawmakers suggesting up to $1.2 million in damages be paid to black residents. State lawmakers and the governor will have the final say on how much is spent and where the money would come from. In a statement, the governor did give an indication if he'd give back direct payments, saying dealing with that legacy is about much more than cash payments. Much of the recommendations put forward by the task force are critical action items we've already been hard at work addressing. Went on to say he looks forward to working with the legislature to adopt an inclusive and equitable future.
Well, you cut through all the political niceties, and I think we all know what that means.
How about no?
But you've got to give it to them. At least they tried. They put in a spirited effort.
The equivocal number from the 1860s for 40 acres today is $200 million for each and every African American. You're not supposed to be afraid. You're not supposed to be afraid. You're just supposed to tell the truth.
Well, he's certainly a spirited chap, but there's a couple of problems I can see here. Now, I'm an Australian, not an American, so excuse my ignorance. But I understand that California was never a slave state. I mean, there was probably unofficial slavery in parts, but slavery was never legal in California. And when he talks about 40 acres, he's referring to 40 acres and a mule, which was part of Special Forces Order Number 15, a wartime order proclaimed by Union General Sherman to allot land to some freed families in plots of land no larger than 40 acres. Well, you see, in California, you couldn't technically be a freed family because slavery wasn't technically a thing. Now, the other thing, the black population in California in the 1860s was probably somewhere between 4,000 and, say, 6,000. I mean, it was almost 8,000 by 1900. So even if it was a slave state and you could technically become a freed family, then you'd be talking lots of 40 acres distributed over, say, 6,000 people. Now, let's say there's 4 people to a family. We're now talking 1,500 40-acre lots. But this guy wants the entire African-American population of California, currently about 2.25 million people, to each receive $200 million. It just doesn't compute, mate. Anyway, I know it's a sensitive issue, and I probably shouldn't be talking about it from the other side of the world, but fuck ya. Some people are really bitter about it, and some people are real larrikins about it. Let's look at some clips.
Looks like I'm gonna have to go to Cali. Look, man, looks like they're gonna give us a lot of money. But I like to know some black Californians. Let me know. Do I have to live here for a couple of years to get this money? Or I could just pull out? Because if I could just move there and get that money when I move, hey, I'll be going to Cali. But black Californians, let me know what y'all know, okay? I highly doubt they're going to give us that much, but looks like they trying to figure out to give us something, okay? And if it's about, like, 10K, yeah, I'll be showing a lot of cash. California love.
I like this guy. You know, once all my transracialism certificates are through, for me and my great-great-great-great-grandfather, I'm pulling off to Cali too.
All right, so I've got a question for everybody that keeps wanting reparations. So at the time of the slave trade, right, different African kingdoms had all types of slaves. By the way, these slaves were black. And these different kingdoms would go to war, and then the prisoners of war they would take and make them slaves. In addition to that, other kingdoms would purposely go to war in some situations to capture slaves and sell them. So in a lot of cases, the slaves that were actually sold were captured by other black kingdoms, tribes, whatever you want to call it. So what is the reason you guys are not up in outrage and messaging African governments and countries asking for reparations from them?
That is a very good point. Why aren't people up in arms about reparations from Africa? I mean, they did capture them, technically they enslaved them, and they sold them to the highest bidder, which happened to be the participants of the transatlantic slave trade. Not saying it's right for 1 second, but there's got to be some fault there too, right? It can't just all be whitey.
Do you guys believe in reparations?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, these bleeding heart white leftists are about to get eaten up by this guy. What a funny motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because you know, like, black people have been through a lot and everything, right? And then
Yeah.
it trickles down and it's supposed to come right back up. It's supposed to be like a full circle, right?
In an ideal world.
Yeah.
Like the water cycle type of thing,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So the question of the day is, do you got $1?
Oh, wait, you mean do I personally have $1? Like right now? I mean, I believe in reparations and all that, but geez, $1? Really?
If I didn't use my last cash,
Do you have Venmo, Apple Pay?
I do have $1.
You do?
I do have $1.
Thank you.
I mean, sorry, man. All I got is $5.
I think your necklaces.
Thank you.
Is your med cool?
Yeah.
All right, have a good day, man.
You
Thanks for
too.
getting back.
Oh, sorry, man. All I got is $5. Give him the 5, you beta. A second ago, you're all like, yeah, I believe in reparations. But I've only got a 5 on me. Fuck, I'm sure there's a cash machine around the corner. You're at a station. Go and pull him out 100. Fucking do-gooders speaking out of the side of their face.
This is a message for Black Americans and Black Americans only.
Wait, so does that include black Americans who immigrated in, say, the 20th and 21st century?
America's only commodity and means of wealth is the black body.
America's only commodity and means of wealth is the black body? Yeah, X to doubt.
From enslavement to the prison industrial complex to stealing all of our shit. What if every black American picked up tomorrow and moved back to Africa, took our talents, our money, everything back to the motherland? Not only would this country collapse, but overnight, multiple countries in Africa could suddenly become the greatest countries in the world.
Whoa, hang on a sec, but there's already Africans in Africa. Are you saying those Africans just don't cut it? To be some of the best countries in the world, they need Africans back from America? Am I understanding this right?
Imagine leaving America along with its white supremacy. The white supremacy they love so much that they wrote into the Constitution and vote for it every election. We leave them alone with that. But we go back home and restore ourselves, our relationships, and our homeland back to the regality we had before them.
Well, I mean, you could always lead by example when you're booking your tickets.
Collecting money for Black History Month? Reparations, anybody want to donate?
Haha, this guy. Again, you've got to respect the hustle. What a funny bastard.
Oh my God, 20? I love you, sir. Thank you.
Reparations?
A 20? Thank you, man. Hey, you get a pass. You can say 1 time this year. All right, man?
Hell yeah, my.
Well, I'm going to leave it there because, as you can hear, my voice is still cactus. Now, just to be clear, even though it's none of my business, I'm an Australian, I don't think there's anything wrong with improving the social stability and well-being of certain demographics in society. I think as Western cultures, we've got to be a bit charitable like that. But California, why not focus on the thousands and thousands and thousands of homeless people on your streets? For God's sake, that's the first thing you should be spending money on. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, leave them down below or at my super duper gay half stepbrother-in-law's Twitter account, B-Skills. Remember to check out the YouTube channel, Where Is My Money? Links are in the description and the pinned comment. Ta-ta, goodbye.
Recession, recession.